Teofimo Lopez is walking into Madison Square Garden on January 31st with the confidence of a man who believes he can shatter that glass house. He sees a runner. He sees a fighter who lacks the firepower to keep him off. But there is one man who knows the truth better than anyone else. Oscar Valdez didn't just watch Shakur Stevenson on TV. He lived through 12 rounds of hopelessness inside the ring with him. And now, Valdez is sending a chilling warning to his friend Teofimo. Do not believe your eyes, because what looks simple from the outside is impossible from the inside.
Right.
Yeah, I fought Shakur, and he's a hard guy to hit. Yeah. You know, it looks very simple, but it's not. But I've seen Teofimo train before. He's a complete athlete. So if I'm being very honest, man, it's a 50-50 fight. It's a stay away bet for me. I wouldn't bet either or, because you never know what's gonna happen on that chess game, because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a chess game inside that ring.
Oscar Valdez is not a man who gets rattled easily. He's a warrior who has been in wars, broken jaws, and traded leather with the best. But when he talks about Shakur Stevenson, his tone changes. It's not fear, it's frustration. In a recent interview, Valdez offered a very specific technical warning to Teofimo Lopez. He said, "It looks very simple, but it's not. This is the core of the danger." Valdez explained that when you watch tapes of Shakur, you see openings. I can land that right hand. I can cut off the ring. But the moment the bell rings, the distance changes. Valdez described it as a feeling of being constantly just 1 inch too short. Shakur has this uncanny ability to control the range so perfectly that he feels miles away even when he's standing right in front of you.
You know, people think the fight with Teo is either going to be you delivering a masterclass,
or a knockout by Teo.
Yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with Teo and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about Teo. Teo's a good boxer. Mm-hmm. He's boxer first. So we could say, oh, he's just going to knock you out. Or he's just going to... That's not him. He's boxing first. He's going to want to establish distance and range on the outside and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I can punch. Mm-hmm. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down, or something may happen to where they hurt or something like that. So I think that's two big things where they don't understand.
Valdez is warning Teofimo that the openings he thinks he sees are actually bait. Shakur dangles a target to make you commit, and the second you throw your punch, the target vanishes, and you're getting countered with 3 shots before you can reset your feet. It's a ghost story in the form of a boxing match, and Valdez is trying to tell Teo that you can't knock out a ghost. Usually, when a fighter is asked to pick a winner between a friend and a rival, they back their friend. Loyalty is currency in this sport, but Valdez didn't do that. When pressed to pick a winner between Teofimo and Shakur, he hesitated. He called it a stay-away bet. He called it a chess game.
If I'm being very honest, man, it's a 50-50 fight. It's a stay-away bet for me. I wouldn't bet either or, because you never know what's gonna happen on that chess game, because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a chess game inside that ring.
So whoever wins this fight, who should they fight next? Somebody at 140? Should Shakur stay there? You think he stays there and facing somebody there?
You know, Shakur's he's big for that division. He's coming from 126, but I can easily see him go to 147 and still give people some problems. So Shakur's
Think about what that implies. Valdez knows Teofimo has the takeover energy. He knows Teo has that one-punch power that can flip a fight in a split second. But he also knows that power is useless if you can't find the target. He views this fight as a clash between chaos and order.
Style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. 2 skillful fighters, 2 talented fighters, you know, 2 fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Cepeda, you know, being elusive while being aggressive, you know, walking them down, fighting on the inside, you know, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight, and it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about, and they wanted to see in Shakur. Well, they saw it. Teofimo showed you that he can fight inside, he can fight outside. He would have the advantage of power in this fight. You know one thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power.
Teofimo can turn this into a brawl, he wins. But Valdez knows that Shakur's discipline is almost robotic. He doesn't make mistakes, he doesn't get emotional, and that's why Valdez calls it a 50-50 fight. He knows that Teofimo is walking a tightrope. One slip, one moment of frustration, and Shakur will dissect him piece by piece for 12 agonizing rounds. It's the uncertainty that keeps Valdez from placing a bet, even on his own friend.
You said a couple of times now you see some holes in Teofimo's game. I know you don't want to give away your game plan at the kickoff press conference, but where are the weaknesses? Where are some of the weaknesses in his game?
A lot of the weaknesses is in his mental. I think it's more mental than anything. And I'm going to expose it.
While Valdez was respectful with his warning, Keyshawn Davis decided to take the gloves off. The beef between Keyshawn and Teofimo has been simmering for a while, with Teo dismissing Davis as just a young kid trying to gain clout. But the response from Keyshawn was anything but playful. He issued a warning that was less about strategy and more about survival. Keyshawn explicitly warned that if Teofimo tries to bully Shakur, he's going to get slept. The narrative has always been that Shakur is a safety-first boxer, but Keyshawn flips that script. He predicts that Shakur will start the fight slowly, downloading the data, reading the movements. But the moment Teofimo gets frustrated, the moment he tries to force his will and pick it up, he's going to walk into something dangerous.
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is eventually going to start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I think it's going to be closer than people think.
Good.
Hey, one thing I can say, though, because, I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Teo can fight.
I'm telling you that. Teo can fight.
Winning back
If
then.
you said he couldn't, you'd be lying. Right. That's a real assessment, though. I think Shakur still wins, but it's going to be closer than people think.
Teo is
nice.
a lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Teo, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Teo. Now Teo's fighting Shakur Stevenson. But do we see Keyshawn and Teo at some point?
How was Teo acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell you?
You gotta tell him anyway. Right. How was he acting? Yeah, how was he acting?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is he was not motivated.
Right.
He kept saying he wanted
Hey,
boots.
but look,
he kept saying he wanted boots.
What you asked me again? Because I wanted to answer that. What'd you say?
Yo, do we see you and Teo fight in the future?
Depending on what Shakur do with him.
Hey, losing to Shakur, though, that can't be a death sentence, right? We can still see Teo
It
back.
depends how bad he loses.
I was about to say.
So you think it's going to be
Okay,
bad?
let's say he loses a competitive fight. Yeah, I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight. What then? What then for you and Teo? For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that shit.
This is a crucial point that people overlook. Shakur isn't just defensive, he's accurate. Keyshawn is suggesting that Teofimo's aggression is exactly what Shakur wants. Teo thinks he's the hunter, but if he rushes in without a plan, he's going to find out that he's actually the prey. So is Teofimo Lopez actually crazy? We've seen the bizarre press conferences, the erratic interviews, and the disrespect. It's easy to write him off as mentally unstable, but there might be a method to the madness. Some analysts believe that Teofimo is doing this on purpose. He knows he cannot beat Shakur Stevenson in a technical boxing match. If they stand in the center of the ring and trade jabs, Shakur wins 10 times out of 10.
Because sometimes you go a little bit beyond respect. That's disrespectful. If you disrespect me on any level, we fighting then. Now, I'm going to try to hold it together but if you disrespect me, which is what he just did, I'm not going to ask him about what he talking about. When I get close enough, I'm finna show him what I ain't talking about. You understand where I'm coming from? So there's a difference. That's why I say you got to know the difference from the old school and the new school. Had he said that in my day, they could not. I would tell him, listen, whatever y'all do, don't let me get close to him. Because if I get close to him, I promise you, I'm finna lay him out right now. I'll pay the fines.
So you gonna hit him with the Riddick Bowe, Larry Donald two-piece at the press conference?
Right now. You understand me? You done said that. You challenging me. You're trying me to see if I'm really a man or not. He basically trying to look, boy, you don't say it to no man. You feel me? So if a man let you say that and he don't do nothing, you feel like, he already let go. He already good. You feel me? No, you don't do that. Somebody got to listen. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I told you I'm old school, Dre. I'm so sorry, but I promise you, I'm gonna tell him, do not let me get within 6 foot, because I'm gonna tear his head off. That's where I'm coming from. And Teo smart, because he's trying to see where he at. You feel me?
He checking Shakur's temperature. Yeah.
He treating him like a little boy, trying to see if he gonna bite it, or if he gonna let me get to him like that. You feel me?
Right.
I would have had to show him that, nah, this ain't what you think it is, brother. This is not that kind of party. So if y'all let me get close to him, I promise y'all, I'm gonna hit him. You understand what I'm coming from? This ain't even a question. I'm gonna hit him. It doesn't matter how many times I'm gonna hit him before y'all grab him. You feel me? But I'm telling you right now, if I get close to him, I'm gonna hit him. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm keeping it real with you.
I can't breathe.
I'm just keeping it real with you.
Teofimo's only path to victory is to break the algorithm. Shakur operates like a computer. He processes data, reads breathing patterns, and predicts movement. The only way to crash a computer is to overload it with data that doesn't make sense. Teofimo is acting reckless, loud, and unpredictable to draw Shakur out of his safe mode. He wants to make Shakur emotional. He wants to make it personal. If he can get Shakur to stop thinking and start fighting with anger, the computer crashes. The discipline fades, and in a chaotic street fight, Teofimo Lopez is the most dangerous man on the planet. It's a high-stakes gamble, but against a perfect technician, chaos might be the only option he has.
Honestly, I'll be a fool to think that the fighter that I'm gonna fight against is the fighter that Kambosos fought against. I think with that fight, he probably mentally wasn't fully there. And then I also heard he had some other issues going on during that time. So I know to expect the best version of Teo. Teo kind of shows up when the guys that you think is going to beat him, that's when he shows up the most. So I'm expecting the best version of him. Expect the best version of me. And I think it's going to be a tremendous fight. This dude is in my way. That's how I look at it. Like, same way he probably feel about me, I feel the same way about him. He's in my way. I'm chasing greatness.
But I wasn't in your way. You came up to my weight.
Yeah.
You didn't have nobody at 35.
That's true, but you the guy, bro. You the guy. You fought kings. You been the guy for years.
But you the guy on the pound for pound.
I agree. I understand.
So how am I the guy if you on the pound for pound?
But you're the guy, bro. You know you the guy, bro.
I'm Theo. Yes.
Yeah. You been the guy since, bro. You the guy. But I'm just telling you.
But I don't.
You're in my way, bro.
I don't carry it that way.
But you're in my way.
The mentality is never going to be that way.
But you're in my way. But you're in my way. So I gotta move you out my way. That's how I look at this.
Nope.
Ain't nobody taking food off my table. That's all I'm gonna say.
But I'll tell you this.
Timothy Bradley Jr. broke this matchup down in a way that really highlights the monumental task in front of Teofimo. He didn't just talk about punches, he talked about physics. Bradley describes Shakur not just as a fighter who has rhythm, but as a fighter who is the rhythm. He used a brilliant metaphor. Shakur is like a hacker who deletes tabs off your browser. Every time you try to do something, Shakur takes that option away. You want a jab? He takes away the angle. You want a hook? He steps out of range. Round by round, your options disappear until you have nothing left. Bradley warns that while Teofimo is an incredible improviser, like a jazz musician making it up as he goes, improvisation turns into guesswork when you're in there with a sniper. Teofimo relies on his reflexes and his athleticism to bail him out of bad situations. But against Shakur, those bad situations are traps. If Teofimo starts guessing, Shakur is going to make him pay for every wrong answer.
Fighting a guy like Shakur, you gotta have power and you gotta put some pressure. You know, you're not going to outbox him. You're not. He's too smart. He's too smart, too great. His distance control, his range. There's nobody better in boxing than him. There really is. You know, I'm sorry, there isn't. So you're gonna have to do a mixture. You're gonna have to try to box a little bit to get your way there, but be aggressive with it. Smart aggression. You know what I'm saying? And when you let them hands go, they gotta be hard and they have to be fast. And you gotta let them go often. You know, you gotta corner this man. You gotta corner him. You know, obviously you had Zepeda that was able to keep him on the ropes by putting that pressure on him. Zepeda put the pressure on him and kept him on the ropes, you know, but, you know, Shakur was blocking a lot of that stuff. Some of that stuff was getting through, you know what I mean? But, you know, you gotta be selective with your shots and you gotta try to set him up, man. Yeah, you gotta try to set him up. That's it. You know, I think the more opportunity you have to let those hands go against Shakur, you know, more opportunity you have to be able to land on him. But if you hold your hands in your damn pocket and you don't shoot, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Because you're not gonna beat Shakur in the patience game. He is patient. He will wait. He don't care about the damn crowd and what's going on. Hell no. When you in there fighting, no, you gotta worry about you. Straight up. So he'll be patient and he'll wait out. Wait up. Stall him out, Craig. He'll wait.
There is also a physical reality that Coach Rob pointed out, and it's something that hasn't been discussed enough. This fight is happening at a weight where Shakur Stevenson is comfortable. Moving up those extra 5 pounds means less drain, more snap. Shakur isn't killing himself to make weight anymore, which means his legs will be fresh in the championship rounds. This creates a battle of efficiency versus combustion. Teofimo is an explosive fighter. He relies on fast twitch muscle fibers, big movements, and high energy. That burns a lot of fuel. Shakur, on the other hand, is pure efficiency. He doesn't waste a single step. He doesn't throw a punch unless he knows it will.
Technical fight in the beginning. And then I think later on, Shakur will pick him apart, man. Pick him apart. And I gotta tell everybody this, man. Whichcomb is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, you know, a lot of people say it's gonna be easy and all that. Nah. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic. So, you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think Teo got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right? How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, you know, they've got the weight and all that. I see Shakur boxing big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like Boots, you know, they box heavyweights and put heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
This isn't a stoppage.
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then it all according how Teo come in. If Teo come at him, you know what I mean? He's gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just like I said, speed is power. You know, not them guys, muscle-bound guys come in and you talking about, oh, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks him out. And they always say, man, I didn't see that punch coming. That's the one you worry about. I mean, then you got to look at this. Shakur, he got speed. He got speed. He a technician, man. He know what he doing, man. I can't take that away from Teo. Teo's a good fighter, too. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter. But I think Shakur is way above.
The danger for Teofimo is burnout. If he spends the first 6 rounds chasing a ghost, missing big shots, and getting frustrated, his gas tank is going to empty out. And once the explosion is gone, he's left in the ring with a technician who is just getting warmed up. That is when the clinic begins. That is when the embarrassment starts. When the bell rings on January 31st, the crowd is going to see 2 young champions in their prime. But Oscar Valdez sees something else. He sees a man fighting an invisible wall. He sees Teofimo Lopez throwing punches at smoke and getting hit by rocks in return.
How do you envision it? I mean, I'm sure you played it out in your mind a bunch of times already.
Me just making a great fighter look average. That's how I see it.
Are you gonna fight like the Zepeda way? Because that was the first time we see you fight like that.
I can't tell you how I'm gonna fight. I fight different styles for different people.
Yeah.
So I may fight this way for this guy. I may fight the other way for another guy. But my main objective is to get the job done.
Valdez's warning is clear. Don't trust your eyes. Shakur Stevenson might look like an easy target from the safety of the press row, but inside those ropes, he is a puzzle that solves you before you can solve him. Teofimo has the power, the heart, and the madness to perhaps pull off the upset, but only if he respects the reality of what he's facing. If he walks in there thinking it's going to be simple, he's going to wake up in the dressing room wondering what happened. Is Teofimo the glitch that breaks the system, or is he just another virus that Shakur is about to delete? Let me know who you've got in the comments. That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.